So if you're on the pre-show, welcome. And we're just waiting for, there we go. Video says live. We are live indeed. Welcome to the Team Superdad podcast. My name, as always, is Johnny Jensen, and you are here with us on the Team Superdad podcast. I said it twice. That's how good it is. We are a community of dads who want more from life, to be more, to make more, to play more. And every week, every time the podcast comes around, we have an expert on from one of the F5 areas. That's focus, fitness, finance, family, and fun. And today, some of you will remember him if you've been paying close attention to recent expert hangouts. But Ashley Bishop is a core part of the Team Superdad crew, and it's an absolute pleasure to have you here to dig deeper into the mindset area that you're specialised in. Ashley, good day to you, sir.
Thank you. There were people going, "Oh, not him again."
I know, like, oh,
not again. How are you, sir? You right?
Yeah, I'm really good. I've got the windows and the door closed. Right? If I suddenly fall forwards and just, did you ever? As a kid, I remember seeing Tommy Cooper die on stage. Did you ever? Bless God, rest his soul. Famous comedian. If anyone's not British or not familiar with Tommy Cooper, but like the true performer he was, he actually died during a performance on TV on stage. And people weren't sure what he was doing. He was just laying there.
Yeah.
I mean, you shouldn't laugh, right?
No.
But he was a funny guy.
I always remember sort of Lee Evans. When you see him on his tours, he's just sweating buckets, isn't he? You know, he starts off, and within 5 minutes, it's just running down his face. Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, that's what happens to me when I exercise. I literally just have to look at a piece of gym equipment, and it's running off me. I don't even have to do it. I just look at it and know that it's coming, and I'm off.
Yeah, and I just I share about that a lot, actually, about healthy sweat.
Yeah.
Echo feedback always does that. As that's off. I share this to the Team Supergirl group. I really experience. I love exercise, as we know. People who listen to the regular podcasts and shows will know that I do a lot of exercise. In fact, you can follow me on Instagram at Team Superdad HQ or at Johnny Jensen, and you will see most of my workouts. But I really experienced when I was pulling myself back together after the breakup of healthy sweat.
Yeah. Like
just sweating out I'm sure this isn't really real, but I just had this idea that at that time, my sweat was kind of black. It was just, and afterwards, and I just like month by month, I felt better and felt I felt better and better. And eventually that sweat, like now when I go to the gym or when I'm working out at home now with the old lockdown, it feels clean. It feels just good to get it out. And I really believe that negative toxicity did have to come out. And what better way than sweating?
Yeah. No, well, this is very true. I mean, I remember several years ago when I was in not a particularly good headspace myself, I went to see who's now a good friend of mine, a phenomenal mindset coach who's taught me quite a lot over the years. I went to see him and I had a day sort of immersion with him, and honestly it got to just after lunch, and I said, there's something just here, I'm not feeling very well, really not and literally within minutes, wallop, migraine, just literally blurred vision, head spinning, and I was like this. I was like, really sorry, I don't feel real. And literally went outside and did the unmentionable all over his rose bed.
Nice.
But it had to come out. Yeah. So I'm completely same page. Sometimes negativity, that stuff that you're holding on to has to come out somehow. And for me, that was vomiting all over his rose bed. But again, just phenomenal. Literally, that happened, and as soon as that happened, fine. Migraine had gone, the sweats had stopped. I was calmer. Whatever was there had gone, and I was fine. It was just such a weird experience. And we were chatting after. He said it's exactly the same. He said all we've done is we've just brought up all the stuff you're holding on to. We brought that up to the surface, and that's just been your way of getting rid of it.
Yeah.
And he said, thanks for that. My roses will appreciate that. And it made me smile because the next year, those roses came up bigger and better than the year that amazing. But no, I think it is. We all get rid of negativity in a different manner. And it's quite a unique experience for everyone. And when I tell that story, people go, yeah, whatever. It's really weird. And I don't believe it's a bit too, it's all coincidental and airy-fairy. It's like, until you experience something like that yourself, you don't fully grasp it.
Yeah, and I think people can lean into that as well, or pull back from it,
Yeah,
like that uncomfortable, like, oh, I'm not feeling quite so well. Oh, that means that studying my mindset makes me sick, so I'm
yeah,
not going to do that. As opposed to push on, throw up everywhere, and find out
yeah.
what's suddenly available on the other side, or push on, get fit, find out what's on the other side. Go date, like go speed dating. I just had this conversation recently about what we're going to do on after
Oh,
lockdown to address the Johnny Jensen dating
problem.
subject. It's not a problem. Well, we're going to try and not label it a problem, at least for the time being, the challenge. But I went when prior to my marriage, after a breakup of a long-term relationship, I had this idea that I was going to go speed dating, but I was going to go at least 3 times,
Yeah.
because the first time could be randomly really good and or randomly really bad, and I couldn't be sure that was a consistent thing. So I did go 3 times, and the conclusion was that it was a pretty poor experience all round. But as we venture back into this world of dating, me and my mate decided that perhaps some speed dating could be a laugh.
Well, it's the experience, isn't it, of going
That
out and chatting
it
to
is
people.
definitely an experience.
You're just making me think of the 40-Year-Old Virgin film. Do you remember you watched 40-Year-Old Virgin?
Do you know what? I haven't seen it. I do know
Oh,
it exists.
I love it because I'm a hairy chap. You know, I have a hairy chest, and there's one scene where the 40-Year-Old Virgin is having his chest waxed. It's phenomenal. Honestly, you need to watch the film, or at least watch this clip after
Watch the
we
clip on
finish having
YouTube. Yeah.
this conversation. It's on YouTube. Just go 40-Year-Old Virgin waxing. And basically, his Steve Carell, who's the 40-Year-Old Virgin, his 3 co-workers who kind of become his friends, and you know they're trying to help him lose his virginity, decide that women don't like hairy chests, and they take him to have his chest waxed. It is one of the most funniest scenes. Clearly, you know, none of them. It's not been planned. It's not been rehearsed. And you can just see them all. They're in fits of laughter. He is in absolute agony, swearing his head off.
Yeah.
And she's ripping out all this chest hair.
He's one of the guys on Anchorman, isn't he?
Yeah. That's
He's
it. Yeah.
Brick or Brock or the
Yeah,
like the little one,
brick, block,
something like that. Yeah.
block, brick. Yeah, that one. That one. But it's so funny because his 3 friends are just laughing their heads off because of what's going on. It's hilarious, but it's such a funny film. But there's a speed dating bit in it as well, and it's brilliant.
Okay, I'm watching it.
I'm
watching it and feedback. And the Team Superdad crew, you can follow me on this journey. Do you know what? I'm going to open it up as a challenge as well across the Team Superdad community for a breakthrough in dating and stuff. So that's going to be quite funny. I could talk about that all day, but we're here to talk about mindset. And you know, we got introduced through Adam Strong, yeah.
Adam Strong.
And he said, "Oh, you got to talk to Ashley. You got to talk to Ashley." So we've actually chatted a number of times now, and that's you know, we're very much on the same page about a lot of things. So it's great to have you back. And the first time we spoke, it was pretty much about this subject, this mindset subject, and you kindly drew the pyramid and talked me through it. And so parts of this, our podcast listeners, you will have to head over to YouTube and catch
as descriptive as possible.
Well, what we'll probably do is if you've got a printed version of it, then we can make that downloadable via a link or something. Or, if you head over to teamsuperdad.com/expert, you can sign up for the expert hangouts and the podcast updates, and everyone gets, anytime a guest gives us the the bonus content, we put it out on that list. So make sure if you do want it, you go over there. But first of all, Ash, what's your background? How did you end up being this mindset and fitness coach? And kudos, by the way, for your kids' fitness videos over the lockdown. Very impressed with the Wolverine outfit I saw you in as well, by the way.
Yeah, I love that. That was from a stag do many years ago, from a friend's stag do up in Scotland, in Edinburgh. We all went as superheroes, and he went as Wonder Woman, which was amazing because he's 6'4".
And you found an outfit.
Sore thumb anyway, and then to dress him in a Wonder Woman outfit.
It must have looked like a mankini.
It was special. Anyway, yeah. So I mean, my background from years ago, my past life, so I call it, is a personal trainer. I qualified as a personal trainer in 2004, so I kind of got into personal training when it was just starting to filter down from sort of the rich and famous. So it's becoming more readily available for the masses rather than this exclusive thing. The whole thing, diet and exercise. I started working out of a gym and then realized very, very quickly that personal training isn't personal in a gym. It's probably the farthest thing from personal, because every other gym member is trying to earwig and get free advice and tips. So it's very impersonal.
I see you're connected with Jean-Paul or JP, yeah, and his key person influence story is very much. I had 50 clients at 50 quid a go. I was working 200 hours a month. Like, I was knackered, let alone be a fitness instructor.
Yeah.
Do they not teach you do they?
No.
At PT school, do they teach you to work yourself to a dog, or what?
In my day, when I don't know what it is now. I mean, the whole health and fitness world, I think, has completely lost it now that you can get PT qualification for about 500 quid.
Groupon.
Honestly, I have seen them on Groupon before, and it's just, in my day when you had to do it properly. There's nothing. It's all diet and exercise, and there's a bit on professionalism, as in don't sleep with your clients. But really, they then kick you out with no knowledge on how to set up a business or anything like that. Like I say, for me, I realised that personal training in gym wasn't very personal. So decided to open up my own facility, which is what I'm still in today. Behind my whiteboard, there is a door where there is a small studio, which is now more of a filming studio than anything else, just because how I now work with clients. But me and JP share a similar story. I grew the business relatively quickly. I was doing 50 to 60 PT sessions a week. You then put, obviously, running the business on top of that. I was banging out a 70-hour plus week, which when you're a singleton, absolutely fine. But when you start putting on, fiance, wife, kids, mortgage, everyone wants a piece of you.
Yeah,
you just burn out. And I'm very open about my story. I stopped looking after myself. I piled on 3 stone. I couldn't walk up the stairs without getting out of breath. I was an absolute miserable arse. Suffering from depression. I mean, again, very, very honest, a big part of my story. I don't remember the first year of my eldest son's life, because he was just a hindrance. He was just in the way, because it was all work. And all I could think, it was all consuming. As it is for most people, now fast forward to today, the change for me, people talk about, what was that? There must have been this huge moment, this aha moment. And it wasn't really, it wasn't this sort of light bulb aha moment as such. It was sitting down with my wife, and it's a case of, where's this going? Because if this carries on, that's it. And that for me was sort of the slap round the face of, right, I need to change.
Yeah, and I think that's an important question that it came up for me in my marriage as this wasn't what I signed up for. And I think that's an acceptable question to ask. I think if any man or woman in a relationship, it's very important at the start of the relationship to be like, this is my vision for our life. This is what I think I'm getting into. Are you with me? And then at various points, both of you need to have the confidence and the self-preservation, to be able to say, this isn't really what I signed up for. Is this carrying on? Because if it is, I need to really have a chat about this. So good on her for bringing that up. Yeah.
So, for me, that was am I allowed to swear? Is this?
You can fucking swear all you like, mate.
Hey,
I just have to tick the right boxes on the upload.
I know this is for men, but I just wanted to check, because I don't swear a lot, but sometimes.
No. Sometimes it's good. It's got a little bit of emphasis.
I use it for emphasis or a pattern interrupt mainly.
Yeah.
A bit like Tony Robbins. I don't swear a lot, but when I do, it's because I want to wallop someone in the face or shift where their focus is. So basically, I looked like shit. I felt like shit. My marriage was going down the toilet, and I was a shit dad. And it was a case of, I've got all the, I've got my experts on hand for nutrition. I've got my own studio. So obviously, diet and exercise isn't the problem.
Yeah.
What the hell is the problem? And about 6 years ago now, I suppose, that led me to start going on this journey of, well, what is it really, or what really needs to happen? Because clearly it's not diet and exercise. I am I am a health professional, a health expert, whatever I call myself now. And if I can't do it, then how can I expect other people to do it? So I started, I sort of stumbled across neuroscience, which is what's going on in our brain, how we rewire the brain, why we know what we should be doing, yet we don't bloody do it type thing. Found it fascinating. That kind of came.
And was that academically, or did you read a holiday book, or it was, what happened?
That's typical. My landline never rings, and now it's ringing. Never mind. We shall work through it. It's probably one of those. Did you know under local government legislation, we could write off your debt in the next 2 seconds? Probably one of them.
It could be.
They're about one of the only.
He's going to throw it.
Go away.
Boris needs to work out.
Where were we? Wait, let's hope it's not a client. Where were we? No, it was some academic. Although there was the courses that I've done, there haven't been any accredited qualifications type thing. They've all been based in and around the health and fitness world. So it's sort of applied, it's practical neuroscience applied to sort of health, fitness and well-being. But it started explaining what was going on in my head and why I was struggling to not do what I know I should be doing. Because a big belief of mine is we don't need more information, we need more implementation. We have all the information in the world ready at our fingertips. You go Google, it's all there, free, readily available.
Yeah.
But it's about implementing it.
Truly. Or how do you give up smoking? Stop buying cigarettes and stop smoking them.
Honestly, you go to Google and you put in best diet for men's fat loss, and there'll be 25 million articles,
pages,
videos, blogs, and you'll get that in half a second, if that. Yeah, we've got all the information out there readily available, but it's about implementation. Anyway, bye-bye. So fast forward now, and this is what I do. I work with CEOs, managing directors, business leaders, men and women. I don't judge. I quite like them with both. It's more about their driving force, their mindset, their beliefs and their values, rather than their gender for me.
Well, I guess who shows up? You know who you can get results with, and you need them to be on board as well.
Exactly. So I now spend my days working with these people who share the same experience as me. They've been in the trenches to build the business, so they're probably 5+ years down the line. They've done the hard work. They've gone from wearing every single cap, so they've now got people in place where they've outsourced everything, and they've finally got their head above water. They've finally gone, phew, that's the hard bit done. But now look at the state of me. I look like shit. I feel like shit, and I can't enjoy this success because my gap and go has got up and buggered off without me.
Yeah.
And
that's why we've hit it off. We're on the same page, with the can I have it all? Well, you better bloody believe you can have it all, because what's the point of winning in business and dying at 55 or being divorced? That's not a win. So
that's it. So that's what I now do. And for me, I'm not that traditional personal trainer. I draw on my sort of personal training backgrounds, as it were, but it's all about creating habits. And for me, I don't want to create a habit where someone depends upon me to make them exercise, or they depend upon me to make them eat a certain way. For me, it's about helping my clients create what I've sort of called the high performance habits. And I see you've got the high performance habits.
Yeah.
Not my one. That's Brendan Bouchard, the American guy.
Yeah.
But it's all about creating habits that fit into your lifestyle, that you just do. You get up. And exercise is part of your morning routine. You get up and you do it. No one's forcing you to do it. You do it because it's become habitual and you know the benefits.
Yeah. So why do people struggle so much with those basic? And I know we're going to talk more about the motives in a second, but like on a basic level, what is it? Just human nature that we're just a bit shit, or?
No. Here's the thing. Our brain can be cut into two. There's two distinctive parts. Now it goes in a bit more detail, but I don't want to get into the nitty gritty.
Yes, keep it simple.
I don't want to
keep it fun and keep it simple.
Yeah, let's keep it really simple. Your brain works one of two ways. It's either working consciously or subconsciously. And there can be a point in time when your subconscious brain is running the show, or the conscious part of the brain is running the show. Now, the subconscious part of your brain is where your habits live. That's where they're stored. And the subconscious part of your brain, it's working behind the scenes all the time. But the subconscious brain craves to know what you're like, what's going to happen. So it craves the knowledge that if I do this, that will happen and that will happen. So the subconscious brain loves to be able to predict what's going to happen in your lifestyle and in your life on a day-to-day, on a minute by minute, hour by hour.
So it finds comfort in the routine, in the familiarity.
It loves it. It loves routine. It craves routine because it knows the outcome.
Good or bad. Yeah.
Even if you don't like the outcome, the subconscious brain is happy because it knows the outcome. Whereas the conscious brain, this is where you get to be logical and creative, and you become super highly effective during the day. You get more done in less time. Your productivity goes through the roof when you have access to the conscious part of your brain. The problem is you lose access to that part of the brain when the subconscious part of the brain is stressed out. Now I'm not going to go into any more detail on that right now because I've made on my scribble. I should have been a doctor. I know you can't see those people listening, but I've scribbled down some notes of what I wanted to go through today. And that we're going to move on to that after I've gone through that.
Yeah, awesome. Okay. So what's the first? Go on.
No, I'll say to answer your question. What are we lazy or anything like that? Well, no, it's purely for the fact that change stresses the subconscious brain out. And as soon as the subconscious brain feels stressed out, it works against you to stop you.
Yeah, like fight or flight just kicks in kind of thing. Yeah.
Or the other two F's that we spoke about earlier.
Yeah. Wow. This is such an important subject because someone could really be beating themselves up about, I'm crap. I know I need to do this, but I just can't. Or
I'm lazy, I'm weak-willed, I don't have the motivation, I'm useless. And
that can still be shrouded under success.
Yeah.
That's how they can be smashing it at work and making millions, and they're just good at business, but their bad habits are at home maybe, and that's why your relationship tanks. Yeah.
It all looks rosy on the outside, right? It all looks great on the outside, but on the inside, it's not good.
And that's where the crash comes, is because it's chopping away right at the base, right inside, and the implosion comes from the inside. So it's bloody important subjects, particularly as mental health is so prominent now as a subject. You've spoken about your circumstances. People who listen to the podcast will have heard a lot about my struggles through the end of my relationship and marriage, and how I put myself back together from that. And to not know enough about this subject is in itself a bit of a threat, really, because it's reassuring to know, I'm not the only one. It's also reassuring to have some tactics to deal with it, and most of all, to feel empowered about a subject gives you power over so many different domains in our life. So awesome. Okay, Ashley, well let's flip and jump into this. Let's find out what it's all about.
Let's get the ball up. So I'm going to stand up. I'm going to try not to lose my head.
Okay.
So we've got this pyramid. Like I say, we'll go through this. I'll create something for you so you've got a visual that anyone listening can see. But we've basically got a pyramid, and this for me is most people.
Can you move the board forward a little bit? Is it going to go out of shot because it's just a bit far away from the microphone?
It might. Are we right there?
It's fine. You're just a little bit echoey. That's all.
I'll tell you what. If you give me a moment, I'll lower it.
Oh, he's going to shorten it. Brilliant. So I'll do some filler whilst this is going on. No, this is good. So coming up, it's never good to timestamp a podcast, but it is appropriate right now. It's June the 1st, 2020. Lockdown is easing across the world. The Team Superdad Just One Goal Challenge is coming up in a couple of weeks. And the Just One Goal Challenge is a 7-day it's a free challenge, and literally you come on, you join, and then each day we get together on a short hangout. Everyone has their one goal for the 7 days, and with my support and with the other actions of the other dads on the program, we absolutely hammer it for that week to make that goal happen. So it's a lot of fun. It's there is a serious intention of, can we achieve that one goal, but there's also a fun intention of meeting some other cool people, having a laugh about the mistakes and clangers that go on, and really building some internal strengths, but also some relationships. So if you listen to this around the time that it's gone out, come on over to the Team Superdad website and register yourself for the upcoming Just One Goal Challenge. And Ashley is ready. He's up close. The pyramid is in view. I love the flag on top as well. That's given me I can see the flag on top now. So over to you, sir. Let's do this.
So here we go. So most people have done some form of goal setting before.
Yes.
I want to achieve X, Y, Z. But most people's goal setting is rubbish because it doesn't go far enough. It's very superficial.
I'll bear that in mind with the just one goal challenge.
Yeah.
Note to self.
Yeah. It's very, very superficial, you know. And when I say that, it's because people are looking. It's very small-minded. I'm not calling an individual small-minded. I'm saying that their goal is very small-minded. You know,
of a small out. You know, it's not a big. They're not big enough on it.
It's a bit like weight loss.
Yeah.
You know, well, what do you lose? I want to lose 10 kilos, 15 kilos, 20 kilos, you know, 2 stone, 2.5 stone, 3 stone. Great, brilliant. A lot of people say to me when I have this conversation, we go through this sort of real in-depth goal setting process, is what do you want to achieve? And for those people that are listening to this, the pyramid has got 3 tiers. The what you want to achieve is in the middle tier. So I said, what do you want to achieve? Well, I want to lose weight. So you want to lose kilograms. I want to lose inches. And I want to improve my fitness, for example. Mm-hmm. Great, brilliant. This is, you know, these are great things to want to achieve. Unfortunately, on their own, they are a rubbish goal.
Because if they weren't, you'd already be doing it.
Are you inspired by weight loss? Are you inspired by inch loss? Are you inspired by improving your fitness? Not really. They're nice things to have. Nah.
Yeah.
Most people stop here. All right, I'm going to lose 10 pounds and I'm going to do it. And they might use the SMART system. Right, I want to lose 10 pounds by doing this. And in the next 2 months, I'll have lost 10 pounds. And of course, what happens, they go hell for leather. That by any means possible, they do everything they can to lose that weight. And they probably do lose it. But then what? What happens in the main for most people? They stop.
Yeah, fall off the wagon,
wagon.
Miss a day, and then decide, oh, well, what's the point?
Because it's not really inspirational. I'm not inspired to lose weight or to lose inches or to improve my fitness. That's not going to make me get up an extra, half an hour early in the morning to do my workout or to go out for a run when it's peeing down with rain. Yeah. Not that it's peeing down rain at the moment with this beautiful weather. So
that's the same thing, isn't it? It's too wet, it's too cold, it's too hot. Yeah. It's always too something. Yeah.
Oh, it's too late at night, and you don't do it because you're not inspired by what you want.
Yeah.
But this is where most people fall off the wagon. But they're setting themselves up to fail before they've even started because they just focus on what. What do you want? The bigger question is, why do you want it? Well, why do you want this to happen? Now, most people start with, especially us men, because we don't like talking about things at a much deeper level to start with, is because I do. Because I don't like what I see in the mirror. Well, I don't know. The amount of time you get the shoulder shrug. Well, why specifically do you want to lose 14 pounds? Because I do. But why? No, I just say it sounds like a good number.
Right. That's funny, isn't it? Because you're working with big execs who are probably quite used to setting clear targets and having rationale behind it, but it comes down to something for themselves and they're all a bit like, oh, I don't really know. Yeah. Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't want to take that step. They don't want to unravel what's really going on.
It's too close to home yet.
Yeah. Yeah. We're actually, what we need, why? Why do you want these things? Why is it important to you? And this is where the why is the intangible stuff. As in the what is very tangible. Well, I want to lose 10 kilos. Tangible, we can track it. I want to lose X amount of inches. Or I want to go down 2 jean sizes. I want to go down a shirt size. Very tangible. I want to improve my fitness. Very tangible. The what you want tends to be a very, very tangible thing. Mm-hmm. Whereas the why is very intangible. I want to feel a certain way. I want to experience certain things. I want to have a better relationship. They're intangible.
Because they can't. Because they're not. Because they can't enforce the outcome. Is that what you mean?
No, but you can't. How can you measure how good your relationship is?
Yeah. Okay.
How can you measure your happiness?
Because it's so ethereal, it lacks any power.
Because we're talking, realistically, what we're talking about here are feelings and emotions.
Yeah.
You want, achieving what you want is going to lead you to experiencing certain things out of life and having certain emotions and certain feelings.
Yeah.
Which we can't measure. How do we measure happiness when we're not looking at pound signs? Because ultimately they don't make you happy. But this is where, so I then take my clients on what we call 5 whys deep. So what do you want? Well, I want to lose 10 kilos. Why? Because I don't like what I see in the mirror. Why? Because I'm lacking in self-confidence. Why do you want more self-confidence? Because I'm not standing up in meetings in the boardroom and selling my services. I'm not going for that promotion. I'm not going out to seek a new mate.
Yeah.
I'm not being the best role model to my kids. I'm not leading my staff. Why do you want to do that? I want to feel a certain way. So what you want is all about the intangible. It's all about feelings and emotions. And then what I do, and the best thing to do here, and you won't be able to see this, but I've split the why into 2 halves. This is where we then want to focus on what we call the pain and the pleasure. Most people will have heard this before, the carrot and the stick. Yep. Because different days, different things work, right? Some days you need the carrot and some days you need the stick. So this is where, for example, what's the pain? Well, that's kind of what you're experiencing right now, what you're not having. So at the moment, I've got no energy. I've got no get up and go. I've got no drive. I'm always tired. I can't play with my kids in the evening because I've run out of energy. I'm not as productive as possible in my business because of the afternoon energy crash at about 3 o'clock. I'm working at the weekends. My sex life has gone down the toilet because I've got no mojo.
Yeah.
And I've got no interest. So my relationship with my partner is non-existent.
Yeah, and I that whole experience across someone's life, it's like you've been shot with a stun gun. Like everything's just a bit numb. Like there's no fizz in your life, and that's the real risk for people, is that it can start in one area, but as it manifests and takes hold, it starts to impact every area.
It's everywhere, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So understanding the pain, understanding the real struggles. A lot of people, a lot of people say, I want to lose 10 kilos. Well, okay, well, we look at the negative side. Well, what is it stopping you from having right now? So that's kind of the one side of the coin. Then, of course, we flip to the pleasure. Well, what will you be able to enjoy and experience and have when you've achieved these things?
Yeah.
You're looking at both sides of the coin. So it's kind of the carrot and the stick. You want to be pulled, you want to be drawn towards the pleasure, and you want to be pushing away. You want to get away from the pain as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
But this is all about getting really inspired to do the work. Well, actually, when I'm a better role model for my kids, how great am I going to feel? When I'm earning more money because I've sold myself better, how are you going to, so it's really inspirational. I know that when I look after myself, not perfectly, but when I look after myself, when I do the work, when I eat the right way, when I exercise every day, when I go to bed on time, when I get up on time, when I dedicate some time every day to look after my mental well-being, I'm a better dad, I'm a better husband, I'm a better son, I'm a better better friend. I'm a better business leader. I'm a better mentor.
Yeah, I was about to say, especially when you talk about your story and where you got to, it's very hard to sit there feeling kind of self-conscious about something you're not doing. So that's powerful for every business leader.
I'm really inspired by this stuff. So why would I not do it?
Yeah.
Why would I not want that? Or on the days when I go, it's raining, or one of the kids has kept me up all night and I've got to go for a run, or I've got to do a HIIT workout. Oh, I can't be asked. Well, hang on a minute. If I don't do this, I could go back to that place.
Yeah.
To be on the verge of getting a divorce and becoming a part-time dad.
Yeah, like be brutally honest with that pain subject. Yeah. Like, because not like, oh, because we'll have an argument today. Oh yeah, what does that mean? Oh, because let's just keep going. And then what? And then what? and then what? And quite often, as I've done coaching work like this, when you keep saying, and then what, you get right down to the heart of it. It's like, because my mum didn't love me when I was a kid. Like, all right, so that's where all your pain comes from. But if you don't keep asking, and then what, then you won't really get to the heart of what's driving the show. Yeah.
So when you know sort of the why, and you know the both sides of the coin, the pain and the pleasure, when one, as I said, the pleasure wants to really inspire you to get there as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
The pain wants to inspire you to move away from it as quickly as possible. But it both inspire you much more than saying, I want to lose 10 pounds. I want to drop 2 jean sizes. I want to improve my fitness so I can run 5K.
Yeah.
So your goals really have to light you up. They have to put fire in your belly. They have to inspire you every single day.
And that's also why if someone sets a goal like that, like I've entered a triathlon and I got fit for it, and then the triathlon came, it was a lovely day, and then I haven't exercised for 6 months. It was because there was no deeper why to that entering the triathlon. And that's often a clanger that people make, of course, around fitness challenges, but I think even in marriage, like you get the excitement of being married, the excitement of the first year, the excitement, and then it gets a bit more average. And the inspiration is gone, basically the motivation, the excitement, the energy is gone.
Yeah. And then of course the final one, so we've done the middle one, we've done the top one. The final one is how you get there. Because most people, when they just focus on what they want, they do it's by any means possible. It's random. It's, oh, you know, I was having a chat down the pub, when you go down the pub, with my mate Bob, and he's been doing this intermittent fasting and he's lost a load of weight. Or, you know, chat to my cousin who's been doing P90X and he's lost a load. Yeah, it's all random stuff.
Yeah.
It's never, there's never a proper plan of action put in place.
Yeah. And for those listening, we're talking about the fat bit of the triangle here, the fat bit of the pyramid, the bottom of the pyramid, the foundation.
Tier number one is what I call the how. You know, how do you get there? Obviously, for you, you've created the F5 mastermind and program and steps.
Yeah.
So for you, that's your how, and that's your clients what they go through to get the result. So it's been planned and pieced together, sometimes painstakingly, to get someone the long-term result. You know, for me and for my process, and very similarly, I've got the 3F framework, which I've broken up into 2 programs, but it's a straightforward, step-by-step program which is time efficient and sustainable, rather than real hit and miss and doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that, you know, and being random.
Yeah, that's the important thing. People trying to take on too much or doing things that are polarized, you know, early in the morning, late at night, something in the middle, it's just never going to be sustainable.
That's it. So that when you've filled in each tier, you know, the how it's going to happen, what it is exactly you're going to achieve, and why. What happens is when you're at the bottom here, you work your way up. When you've got these 3 tiers in place, the how you're going to get there, the what you're going to achieve, and why you're going to achieve it. When this is all filled out, there's no stone unturned. It's crystal clear. You have complete clarity on how you're going to do this.
Yeah.
There's no if, and, or buts.
And the how, you know, working that out, it's whether it's a community of people, peer to peer, whether it's a coach, whether it's an executive mentor, like having someone who's giving you that how, unless you're really a good researcher or you're quite driven in finding out answers, even then though you could go into overwhelm quite easily. So it's important to go to some sort of source to get the right how.
Now, obviously, you know, we're both being coaches and mentors, we're going to say this, but you can do it on your own. You know, I say this to anyone that I chat to. They say, well, why should I hire you? I say, you don't need me. You can do it on your own.
Yeah, it's all on YouTube.
You're going to be sifting. It's going to be a lot of trial and error. You're going to be wasting a lot of time. And let's face it, time is something we don't have a lot of. We can all make more money. We can't make more time.
Yeah, totally. Well, look, YouTube's been around long enough now that people know it's there. And before that, people knew the library was there. So the reality of how to do things has always existed.
Yeah.
There's something else part of the human nature, which is how do we make this happen?
Yeah. And that's moves nicely on to the next thing. So this is all well and good, right? And I'm sure people have been there. And as you say, all the information is there. And without being rude, I've seen a load of PTs, on social media, they're giving away free workouts, and they go, and I have the kids, we've done the Kids Fit Club. We've done it. I've targeted it at kids because, for adults, it's free and readily available. But there's no, to me, there's no value in a workout because it's all there for free. Like I say, you go to YouTube and you say, there are hundreds of thousands of free workouts on there. You don't need to ever pay for a workout. They're all there.
Yeah.
But again, it's doing the work. It's implementing. And obviously from having a coach or a mentor, for me, a big part of what I do is what I call high level accountability. I hold my clients to a very high standard. They make commitments as to what they're going to do every day, and I hold them accountable to make sure they do it every day. Because when you do the new thing enough times, it becomes habitual.
Yeah. What do you think about the whole consequences side? I know some people would like to put consequences on, not.
But again, who wants negativity in their life?
I suppose. But is that a motivator to someone? If you don't do what I say you're going to do, I'm going to charge you. You got to give 50 quid to charity. I've seen those kind of.
But for me, it's when something goes wrong, because roadblocks happen, obstacles happen. Life will always throw you a curveball. That will always happen. For me, accountability isn't this waggling your finger, you lazy effing so and so. You just need to want it badly enough. You need to want it more. It's none of that. That's a load of twaddle. When something goes wrong, it's about understanding why it went wrong. What caused you to go wrong? What happened? Because when you actually take a little bit of time to understand what happened, what caused you to go wrong, you can shift your journey slightly. You can create a way around it. You can create a plan of action. When this happens, I know I can't do what I normally do, so do that instead.
Yeah.
So that for me is what accountability is about. It highlights when something goes wrong, and it gives you the opportunity to go, how do we overcome this? Rather than that whole berating someone, because that never helps anyone, does it really?
No, well, I think no.
That's another topic we could go on about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But anyway, I think it's, for me, there's a 4-step habit creation process, because long-term results, lifelong results come from creating new habits.
Yeah.
Short-term results come from doing random stuff for a little bit and then giving up. So when you're inspired by when you feel inspired to achieve these results, to do the work, we focus on creating new habits to get long-term, lifelong results. And there's a very specific 4-step process that we all go through when creating any new habit. So this isn't just about, physical or mental performance and productivity. This is you go through exactly the same when you're learning how to drive a car. And this is what trips a lot of people up. Because as we touched on earlier, talking about that conscious and subconscious brain, the subconscious brain despises change. It hates change because it cannot predict what's going to happen. It cannot predict the outcome just yet. It doesn't know. And that scares the living daylights out of it. And as soon as your subconscious brain gets scared, it actively tries to get you to give up. Have you noticed how we give up on doing new things quite quickly? Tony Robbins did his research and worked out that, was it 80% of people give up after the 15th of January and then use resolutions? So this is what we're talking about, really, is how do we keep going? How do we not give up? And for me, that's by understanding the 4 phases of habit creation, what you're going to experience. Because when truth be told, part of it isn't the most enjoyable process, but we have to get through that to come out the other side. So these 4 phases, the first one is we're motivated. My amazing spelling. I can't sit down and write. We're motivated. When you decide you're going to lose weight, and weight's quite an easy one because a lot of people have committed to losing weight many
Yeah, it's
times.
normally a holiday or a wedding.
Yeah.
I spoke to a mate the other day, and he goes, he used to play football, quite a good footballer, like in terms of school level, college level. And then he goes, "Oh, I've not done much." He goes, "But apart from each year, about 6 weeks before I go on holiday, I just go on a diet."
So it's that knee-jerk reaction type thing. You've had all right, I'm going on holiday. So, right, I must get fit.
Yeah.
I must lose my belly. Because I want to be able to stand by the pool and look good. That kind of stuff.
Or I want to lose weight so I can go on holiday and put it all back on.
Exactly. So you're motivated to do something. But the problem is motivation doesn't last very long. It doesn't last. Mm-hmm. And actually, there's no specific time frame to this because everyone's different, everyone's unique. But this can last as short as 3 days before you lose motivation for the new thing. Now, of course, most people, they join a gym, they have their gym induction, and they try and show off during the gym induction to the gym instructor or personal trainer who's doing the induction. They try and lift a little bit heavier weight. They try and do a few more reps. They really push themselves because they're motivated. I'm going to do it this time, which is great. And then the next day you feel awful. Dom, everything's aching. You can't walk up the stairs. You can't lift up your pen. Oh my God, how on earth am I going to keep doing this for the next 6 weeks, for the rest of my life? This isn't realistic. I can't do this forever. God, I feel awful. Very quickly, we move from being motivated to challenged. Oh, this is really challenging. Oh my God, I'm outside of my comfort zone. I don't know if I can keep doing this. You're going to ask a question. You've got that.
No, I wasn't. No, I was. Do you know what? My facial expression gave away my internal thoughts there. I was thinking of times I'd been challenged around stuff. Yeah.
Now, we're challenged at this point because what's now happening is your subconscious brain is going, holy crap, I'm scared. He's doing something new again. I don't understand it. I don't like it. I don't want to do this anymore. I want you to give up.
Yeah.
And this is when you start getting that little voice. That little voice sits on your shoulder. It's you're whispering in your ear all the time. Give up. You can't do it. It's too difficult. You don't have the time. All the excuses, the reasons, the justifications, the blame as to why you can't do the thing start coming out now. Most people have experienced that.
Yeah, and the real clangor is to not realize it's not you.
Yeah. But this is the thing. It's not you. It's a subconscious part of your brain trying to get you to give up because it's scared. It's scared of change. So it's making you feel really, really uncomfortable right now. And you're using all these reasons the reasons, the blames, the justifications, the excuses as to why you can't. These are bubbling up at the surface right now. We've all been there. A lot of people give up. I can't do this. It's too tough. Now, of course, we all know you keep doing the thing more often and it gets easier. Oh, it's too tough. I don't have the time. I don't have the money or whatever it is. I'm too tired. It's raining outside. It's too hot. Oh, the kids kept me up all night.
Yeah.
All these excuses are coming out at this point specifically to get you to give up. A lot of people give up very, very quickly within the first sort of 3 weeks. They give up. Because the subconscious brain is really going for it.
Yeah.
Now,
at the same time, pick up a load of self-loathing and resignation as well.
Oh, I'm just lazy. Yeah. I'm weak-willed. I don't want it badly enough. I'm useless. Yeah. So how do we overcome this? Well, the first thing is to accept that you've got to go through this phase to come out the other side. It's inevitable. Obviously, by having really inspirational goals to keep you moving forward.
Yeah.
And it's either being pulled forward to what you're going to achieve or being pushed away from what you don't want. Again, another tip, a support network. Friends, family.
Team Super Dad.
Team Super Dad. And of course, having someone to hold you accountable, having a coach or a mentor stepping through the process with you every step of the way. Not doing it for you because we can't, but being there for you to either hold you accountable, to help you understand why you're struggling, or to give you a kick up the backside.
Yeah, I mean, well, in fact, the whole pyramid. How? What do I do today? Well, do this. Okay. And then was it how, what, and why? What am I doing this for? Well, if you do that, that's good for your back. That's good for this. That's good for your shoulders. That's good for this. Okay. And then why? Well, you told me you want to outrun your kids at the sports event or whatever it might be. Okay, right. There's your why. Let's go. Well, blimey, this might, I won't interrupt. We've got two more coming, but on a team call myself this morning with two people I'm masterminded with at the moment, something I've been wrestling with for the last 5 days, just really about momentum, and I couldn't work out why I was just basically feeling quite crap about myself and not getting done what I needed to get done. And then just through talking, the three of us, I actually coached myself, and I realized, hang on a minute, I'm too concerned about the outcome. So this was all about the 7-day challenge. I was too concerned with how many people are going to sign up for the 7-day challenge, and so was procrastinating around actually getting it ready, thus proving that there would be no one to sign up for it because I never launched it in time.
Because you were here.
I was challenged, yeah.
The subconscious brain was challenging the hell out of you.
Yeah.
And keeping you stuck and pushing you more towards giving up.
Yeah. And we've got this thing called NATO, not attached to outcome. Bloody brilliant. So they were like, they go, how about NATO, Johnny? Like, oh man, thank you. So obvious, but it took them it took me to voice it and them to say it for me to remember. Yeah.
So then we move on to, again, there's no sort of specific time frame here. What I say to people is, the more regularly you do the thing, the quicker you move through this process. That's totally, why I focus on daily habits. Exercise. We exercise every day.
Yeah.
Daily habits, because then you move through this process quicker. Everyone is different. Everyone's unique. There's no real.
No, I don't disagree with you at all. I think everyone is unique, but I do think that habitualization of something comes from those small incremental wins. And if you start doing the press ups, you're like, oh my gosh, I did 5. Yeah. Then you can't help but have a cheeky sort of little. Everyone does it. They have a little flex in the mirror.
Yes.
But eventually, like, oh my gosh, I can see that. And for me, like 2 years nearly after properly starting to work out, I've actually got pecs, first time in my life. But it's taken a whole degree of focus. Now I can see those things. I'm like, that's given me another layer of focus. So dropping the trouser size, or being able to pick your kid up for the first time in however long because you couldn't because you're back, like that brings the level of focus keeps going up and up and up by creating these habits. That's so powerful.
So then we move on to the next phase, which is unfocused. What's happened here is that subconscious part of your brain has twigged that you're not giving up. You bastard. You're not giving up. All of it's hard work, all of that whispering in your ear, it hasn't worked. So the subconscious brain at this point changes tactic.
Oh, they've gone to another layer of attack.
It realizes that you mean business this time. So it goes, right, if I make you think that you've nailed this new habit, you'll become unfocused, slow you give up. Now, most people that have joined a gym multiple times have experienced this. They're committed, they go 3 or 4 times a week for the first month. Brilliant. And then suddenly, oh, I can't go tonight because this has cropped up. I'll go tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll come. Oh no, I'll go tomorrow. And then they've gone from maybe going 4 times a week, 3 times a week. Then the next week they've gone twice, and then once, and then they give up. And this is the subconscious brain. It's trying to trick you into thinking that you've nailed it. Yeah. You've created a new habit. When actually you haven't. Most habits, even if you do the thing daily, most habits, and again, this is a bit of a wide range, but everyone is different, normally takes between 40 and 60 days to create. Some people it can be longer. If you're only maybe exercising 3 times a week, it could take you nearly a year to make that into a habit.
Well, and even when you got it, it's still so easy to lose.
Yeah.
People Everyone knows that, yeah.
Yeah. So when we allow ourselves to become unfocused, and that's just because that subconscious brain is now not telling you that you're a lazy so-and-so and you just don't want it bad enough. It's now telling you've nailed it. Well done. You've got this. You made it a habit. You don't need to think about it anymore.
You can ease off a little bit.
You can ease off. If you miss tonight, who cares? It doesn't matter. Because you'll go tomorrow. And tomorrow comes. And guess what? You don't have to go today. You can go tomorrow instead, Johnny. Don't go. Go and have a beer.
Have an extra hour in bed. You'll feel better for it.
Yeah. And of course, what happens? You give up. The subconscious brain is one because you've stopped doing the new thing and it can go back to your old ways that it's really happy with. Mm. Now, again, how do we push through this? We stay committed. We stay focused on why we're doing all this in the first place. What we're going to gain from doing this. We utilize our support network. We utilize our coach or our mentor. So it's having the people in place to support you through this. Not many people can do it on their own, as most people have proved by the fact that they keep giving up.
Well, totally. And at the other end of the spectrum, this is always mentioned, but Tiger Woods as a coach, Michael Jordan had coaches throughout his career. Every high performance person in the world, Helen Mirren or something like that, they have acting coaches or someone they check in with, voice coach.
Coaches.
The small percentage of people on the planet who reach that upper level of success, and everyone's like, well, how the hell did they do that? And they're like, well,
they've got this huge team behind them.
Yeah, teamed and coached, and they focus on success and attention to detail.
But even, you look at these top flight, the people that we look up to. Again, just use Tony Robbins, because I'm sure a lot of people watching this, listen to this, will know of him. He has coaches and mentors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I understand you. I don't believe that you can progress in life and get to where you want to be without coaches and mentors. Yeah,
the top business people have coaches and mentors. Warren Buffett talks about his mentors, and it's like you're looking for the success tips out there. These people always talk about their routines, their habits, their mentors, and their peer group.
Yeah, get a new mentor. But they will also have several for different areas of their lives.
Yeah.
So there we go. Anyway, look, we keep pushing through that, and then we become unstoppable if. Big if, underlined.
Big if, capital letters, underlined for emphasis.
That's it. If we positively reinforce what we're doing. Now, I did a video about this recently. Not a lot of people love exercise. Not a lot of people love exercise. But they do it because they love the benefits of doing it. They love the result of doing it.
Yeah. And that was even you being honest in your video, weren't you? Yeah.
Don't be wrong. I don't loathe exercise.
Yeah.
I love it. I don't go, wow, we're going to do exercise today. Woohoo! And there are a few people out there. I appreciate that. A lot of them tend to do CrossFit and compete in the CrossFit game.
Yeah.
But most normal people don't love it.
No, and that's an important distinction, because they say, oh, it's okay for you because you're a fitness instructor, or because you've got a mindset expert.
I always love it. I said, oh, yeah, but it's all right for you because you're a fitness freak.
Yeah.
Well, I normally turn around and call them something in response, because I think that's very rude, but by and by. But yeah, no, I understand the benefits of exercise, and I positively reinforce the benefits. So when I exercise, yes, it's bloody challenging. I sweat the bits and bobs off. It's tough. And some days I don't enjoy it, especially if it's raining and I'm going to go out for a run. But I love the result. I love the fact that I can maintain my weight and not have the most perfect diet. I can have a pizza if I want one.
Yeah.
I love the fact that I like what I see in the mirror. I love the fact that my wife loves what I see in the mirror, and that gets me certain benefits.
Yeah, and this is like this is your list kind of thing. You're like you're making a list of these things.
I can run around. I love the fact that I inspire my kids. One of my kids came out this morning. We were creosoting the fence this morning, and one of my kids came out and he's only 3.5. And I can't remember talking about it. Says, but yes, Daddy, I have strong legs because I do my squats. Show me a squat, and there he is squatting up and down.
Yeah.
I love the benefits of exercise. If you can positively, even if you don't love the thing, if you can positively reinforce it, you'll make it habitual.
Yeah.
If you really, really, really hate it, you'll never make it a habit, because the subconscious brain won't let you.
Well, there's a whole mechanism has been evolved into our human bodies as part of the what it is to be human is this process. So just to clarify again, the unstoppable if. So you've got to have a big enough if, because it makes you unstoppable. So if I do this, I'll be able to play with my kids. If I do this, I'll look good in the mirror. If I do this, I'll sleep better. If I do this, oh, here's a good one. If I do this, I won't snore in the night and my wife will sleep better. There you go. Yeah. That's a relationship saver for you.
The unstoppable if, typically the if is when it gives you the why you want your goals.
Okay, yeah, back to the pyramid. Yeah.
So by doing this, it allows me to achieve this.
Yeah. A tangible benefit that improves or enhances your life. Yeah. Or the life of those around you. Yeah, totally.
So if you can positively reinforce it, congratulations, you've created a new habit. And you'll enjoy the byproduct for life. Or until you create a new habit that supersedes it. If, and here's the key point, if you can't positively reinforce it, you have not failed. You have successfully found something that does not work for you. So guess what? If you can't positively reinforce it, you go back to here and you try again.
So back to the top, to motivation.
So I had a client who said to me, actually, I want to run because, or, you know, all my friends run and they say they get this wonderful runner's high, or, they can just switch off and, you know, their head, you know, goes wandering and they can have some of the best ideas while I want that. Great. Download the Couch to 5K app. I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. I don't need to reinvent the Couch to 5K app. It's a fantastic app. Download it. Off you go for the next 8 weeks. So I went through it, and again, they knew this. So they knew exactly when they were challenged, and I either had to remind them of that or kick them up the bum. They went through here. They got to here 8 weeks down the line. They're now running 5K because that's roughly the timeline, isn't it? So it's around an 8-week thing.
Right.
Got to here. Actually, I really don't like running. I'm not enjoying it. My knees are hurting. My back's hurting. I'm not getting that buzz that everyone told me about, that you've told me about because you enjoyed running. I really don't like it. Okay. Do you want to keep doing it? No. They're not going to make it habitual. So I said, hey, great. You've tried it. Well done. You've successfully been through and experienced this process. So now let's go back to here and do something else, shall we? Yeah, all right then. So I think we took out the running as their cardiovascular phase for their weekly exercise habit, and we put in 2 18-minute HIIT routines. Loved it. Yeah. Great. Get up, get it done. All hot and sweaty. Quite enjoy the challenge. I don't love the exercise because I'm knackered after doing it, but I quite like the style of it, and I like the benefits. I love the fact it only takes 18 minutes. I love the fact I can do it at home without.
There you go. That's what you just.
I'm toning up. I love the fact that I can see that there's a real change. I love the fact that I'm able to now run around my kids. I love the fact my knees aren't hurting from doing this.
Yeah, and that's the people who go, "Oh, I hate exercise." They've just allowed themselves to be stopped right at the front door. And behind the front door is all those benefits that they could have from life, but they're going to be stopped. And they get stopped by thinking that no one else hates exercise or hating exercise is enough to stop anyone. It can stop you, but equally the benefits are behind the activity, and they are there for everybody as well. So if exercise is a really good example because it's so obvious to people, but people can do this. Smoking is clearly another obvious example because you'll live longer, you won't smell, you know, those sorts of things.
Like driving. I remember chatting to someone a while ago. They weren't a potential client. It was just I was doing a talk for a business.
Yeah.
And I was talking through this, and one of the young girls that worked there said, "Oh, is that why I kept quitting at learning how to drive?" And we were chatting about it, and basically she got here and got so scared, which was just that little subconscious voice.
Yeah.
She gave up. So I said, "Yeah, you know, you're here and you've kind of given in." So I said, "Well, tell me, why bother learning how to drive? Well, who cares? You don't need to do it. It's an expensive thing to do. What will the benefits be if you drive? So she was well, actually, you know, I'll have my freedom. I'll be able to go and see my friends more, blah, blah, blah. I said, right, do you want to learn how to drive now? Yeah. So she went and booked some driving lessons.
Yeah, perfect.
I've never found out. I must admit, I haven't found out yet whether she passed, but she just got to hear and sort of started listening to that little voice too much.
Yeah, she got to challenged and stopped.
Yeah.
And that's the important thing, is for people to realize that it's normal. And just so we're getting towards the end, actually, with time wise, but this can be reverse engineered as well for bad habits, right? So if you've got a bad habit, okay, but smoking's a bad habit, right? But equally, spending too much money.
Yeah.
I mean, there could even be things like spending too much time on social media, or
both sides of the coin. What's the benefit, and what's the pain, what's the pleasure? Well, if I smoke, it's costing me X amount. Always try and stack it, right?
Yeah.
You know, so just saying to someone, oh, it's 20 quid a day. I get through 40 days, 20 quid a day roughly. Nah, 20 quid a day. Well, have you worked out how much that is a month and a year?
Yeah. Well, if they've got loads of money, that's not enough. You could then go, and what you could do with, and what you could buy your children with that,
Yeah.
or what you could do in the
holiday
community with that,
Yeah.
or basically to find another outlet for that.
And you know, you're reducing your lifespan. You may not see your grandkids grow up. You may not meet your grandkids.
Yeah.
You're telling your kids it's okay to smoke.
Yeah, set an example, legacy.
Yeah.
Even in work, ascension, what kind of leadership, what sort of team you're building, what sort of values you're espousing in within your team. If everybody else adopted that same attitude, what would happen to the success of your business? If the business started to tank and they all lost their job, what would that mean to all the people that worked for you? So these are some of the unstoppable ifs that you can put in around negative habits as well. Yeah, awesome.
I think the one thing that I'd like just to add is I honestly don't believe there's such thing as a good habit or a bad habit or a positive habit or a negative habit. We just have habits that give us a particular outcome. And it's then, are you happy with that outcome? So eating loads of high processed, quick convenience foods, some say, oh, that's a really bad diet. Now for that person at the moment, it isn't, because they're happy with the Bible. They're not bothered by the result of eating that way.
Yeah.
It's not until they go, well, actually, I'm carrying a bit of excess, and they start thinking about it, and then actually go, well, no, actually, I'm not happy with this outcome. Again, smoking, I've done a few posts and videos on this, and I love the response when I turn around and say smoking isn't a bad habit. The funny looks I get at that point are brilliant, because it's not a bad habit if you're getting pleasure from it and you're happy with the trade-off you're making. Because some people, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but some people go, well, actually, I like smoking. I love, the buzz that it gives me and blah, blah, blah. And actually, I don't care that it's potentially reducing my life by 10 years. And it's costing me, as you say, it's costing me, £500 a month. Don't care, I've got the money. So there's no such thing as a good habit or a bad habit. We just have habits, and they give us a certain result. Which, when you start thinking, I love your response to this one, because I've seen your face a couple of times when I've said this. And that's what it comes down to. It's what result are you getting from this habit? And if you're happy with that result, for you, it's not a bad habit.
Yeah.
It's a habit. Now, for me, smoking, I look at it and I go, well, actually, I wouldn't smoke because I'm not happy with that trade-off. I'm not happy with the results of smoking. First of all, it would cost me a small fortune. Secondly, I'm not going to be a great role model to my kids. Thirdly, I'm going to potentially reduce my lifespan. Or if I don't reduce my lifespan, my quality of life will be reduced. I'm not willing for that trade-off. So
of course, and also the word good or bad adds a level of meaning, which is made up anyway. So we have to. Everyone should be conscious of the meaning they're adding to things, and what kind of power that's either giving the thing or giving them, and being conscious of was that our intention? Do I want that to have power over me, or do I want to have the power back myself?
With diets, there's no such thing as a bad diet. There's no such thing as a good diet. All you've got, your diet will dictate how you look, feel, and perform.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. You know, as you say, people get so hung up, oh, what is the best diet for weight loss? There is no best diet for weight loss. Let's just get you eating in a manner that allows you to look, feel, and perform at your very best.
Yeah.
How about
Well, what's
that?
important for me around this subject, it fits into the focus element of F5. It's about having control over something, not control as in a bad way, but control as in a power and like as someone who's actually actively steering the ship. And, I quite like when it's Lent or whatever, giving up chocolate and sweets and coffee and just because that's a real strain for me not to have that thing.
Yeah.
One thing I'm working on at the moment but struggling with is going to bed at 10:30. Yeah. It just won't happen, or I'll fiddle on my phone for however long until but it's actually then being interested in like, oh my gosh, that is something I've really got to win over. Yeah. And once I've conquered it, I might realize that actually it was just a bit of fun to win that. And it didn't really matter, or it did matter, but anytime I feel challenged in a particular area, like I haven't got control of it, I'm not excelling in that area, then it really pricks in me some an energy, like an interest, and I look to go out of that. Obviously, work and everything is another one with that focus and intentionality, momentum, and as I shared earlier, not being attached to the outcome. So, have I been stopped? Have I lost a week because I was procrastinating, or have I actually pushed through, grown the group, lined up some more coaches for the F5 program? Like to what degree did I take ground in that area? And I think that's actually, as I've just said it, that is for me an important part of this, is about taking ground. Because if we don't keep taking ground in these ways, then the ground takes us. It's like weeds coming up through the pavement.
Well, you're always moving in one direction.
Yeah.
Or the other. We never stay still. People, they get this whole thing, and it's kind of like, let's just do a quick something.
Last one, because we're running long.
Let's do a quickie. Last one. People always say, if I don't change now, I'll stay like this.
So you're drawn a straight line, straight arrow. Yeah.
Well, kind of straight. It's a bit,
okay.
A bit cockeyed. People always think, if I do nothing now, I'll still be in the same place in 6 months' time. No, you won't. You won't. If you don't do anything now, it's going to get worse. Because you'll keep moving backwards.
Yeah.
You'll keep moving in the wrong direction. It's what happens when you don't fix it properly. Hold on to it for dear life now. If you do nothing, you don't stay the same. You progressively get worse because your habits are dictating where you're going.
Yeah.
Whereas if you start doing something, you change your habits, you can start going in the other direction. But you never stay exactly the same. This is a big misconception for a lot of people. Say, oh, if I don't do anything now, something I hear sometimes, which is when I pull this one out. Say, oh, yeah, no, I'm just too busy right now. I can't do it. I'll do it in 6 months' time. No, you won't.
Because you'll be even further back. Yeah, you'll be even more demotivated.
You'll be down here. And then we'll have how bad has it got to get for you before you have to change? Yeah. And some people have to go that way first before they then go, I need to change. But
because losing 2 stone is going to be harder than losing 1 stone. Yeah.
So we never stay still. We're progressing or regressing.
And that is such a powerful thing to leave this on. Basically,
I can't talk anymore.
It's so good. He's overwhelmed.
I need to have a little lay down and relax.
That's the essence of all this right there at the end is we don't stay the same. We actually go backwards. If we're not working on something, we actually naturally go backwards. Wow.
There we go.
So awesome. Ashley, we'll be seeing more of you, but in the meantime, people can come and find you over on, tell us where people can find you.
Yeah, well, I tend to hang out on LinkedIn quite a lot, which you can just find me there. Just tap in my name, Ashley Bishop, or Ashley Bishop Health, and I'll crop up. I have a website, which, as you rightfully said, it's got a holding page at the moment. As of today, whatever today's date is, it will be live. It's being completely redone by some amazing professionals. I've got, we've had a socially distanced photo shoot. That was quite interesting. Professional copywriter, professional website builder. They're all beavering away in the background to get it ready and up and running. So the website will be live in about 10 days. And that is ashleybishophealth.co.uk.
Nice. Awesome. Well, thank you, Ashley. Just a pleasure, basically. I wanted to go through all that. I wanted, and I know you did too. There was a lot of wisdom there that you've shared. If anyone's got any questions, please, the live streams of this podcast are on the Facebook page and the Team Superdad group. Both of those, just search up Team Superdad on Facebook, the YouTube channel Team Superdad as well. You can ask a question there, and I'll endeavour to make sure that I spot those and come back and answer them, or get Ashley to contribute as well. If you have listened to this and enjoyed it, please share it around. Please start a watch party on Facebook. That is always a great way to grow our group. And come on over to the Team Superdad website and register to get the alerts for upcoming podcasts and the expert hangouts, which, funnily enough, I'm going to be doing this again in 2 hours' time.
Hey.
Because I'm talking to Andy Lapata about the power of our networks. Awesome. Well, enjoy it's the start of the week. It's Monday here, so have a great rest of the week, Ashley. Enjoy your kids and your family. And looks forward to seeing you more around Team Superdad.
Fantastic.
Awesome. Let me stop this and I'll come back to you. Cheers, everyone.